Hello and welcome to the audio commentary track for Doctor Who The Magnus Year's Prime Crash. I am Dezaras Prime. I wrote the episode and voiced everyone except the Doctor. I'll get to the voice of the Doctor in a bit.
Well, here we are,
that
Magnus.
TARDIS shot,
Like
simple effect really. It's just basically take a photo with the background, then take a photo with the background with the TARDIS, stick a fade effect over it. One difference being from when Magnus first left with the Doctor in Sex, Lies and Transformer tapes, the season 1 finale of Transformers the soap, is that this TARDIS is a different TARDIS. It's a Lego one, and I couldn't get him to sit on it properly, so I had to have him just live action shot, 1 or 2. You can tell by the colour, I don't like the colour on that, but the TARDIS, I just had to have him leaning casually on it because I couldn't get him to sit on top of it like he was before.
I'd better check her out.
And now we're inside the TARDIS. It took me 4 hours to build that. And if you look, Cyberman conversion chamber through the door. That's a different door he's looking through.
Hey,
it's the other side of the TARDIS. You can see my wall behind there.
Apart from that, everything seems...
Yes, I did the voice of the sexy damaged alarm as well. The shot here, I just basically took the original photo and ran it through GIMP, which is a photo editing software, and just ran a red colorize over the top of it.
Magnus?
And the little red bit there, I just selected around the outside, and it went. I had to stick the Doctor to the wall there, but I just inverted on the interior TARDIS where the door where it went red, but the door stayed the same colour.
Well, you've done something to my TARDIS. Gallifrey knows what, though.
Looking at this, it didn't work out as well as I thought it would have done.
What? Didn't do anything? You just drove
into it. You know,
No, I didn't.
you can quite clearly tell the difference between the two Optimuses.
Doctor,
What?
what?
If you didn't know there was two before, there's my carpet. If you didn't know there was two before, then you know now.
What?
Credits, the titles. I actually wanted to go for the classic effect, probably because I couldn't mess around with the effects doing a modern one. So, and I like the movie music from the '96 Paul McGann movie, so I kind of went for a classic feel with the titles. And we get Doctor Who The Magnus Years. I just like this track. Good bit of music, different to what you usually get. Probably because it was only used once and not used repeatedly week after week after week. That's what I liked about it by Dezaras Prime. I was toying with the idea of using my real name for that, but I thought against it.
Oh, this is bad. This is very, very bad. So,
Sonic Screwdriver sound effect is actually done by my own sonic screwdriver that my mate Steve bought me for my birthday last year. Now, I'll talk about Mike a bit. He, I know him from a few Transformers forums, and I've only actually met him once, but we're like good friends. And I heard him, I watched some of his reviews on YouTube. He's known as MegabyteUnleashed on there, insurgent on all the Transformer forums, and
So that's an alternate.
probably still Mike to his mum and dad. But
See, Magnus, Optimus understands.
he just had this quirkiness about him, this charisma that I liked, and he had like Doctor qualities, but it was just his accent that was a bit of a problem.
You're not coming with me. You're a liability.
I wanted to do a better transformation for this, but this is 19 minutes long. I didn't have much time.
So what happened?
But anyway, Mike, yeah, his northern accent kind of put me off a bit, even though his delivery of the lines was brilliant. So I went down to Nottingham and met up with him. We like hung around in Nottingham for the day. I must have sat outside a bar for about an hour, and I was sat there trying to get him to say hello, but it just wasn't coming out right. It was more hello, or however he says it. But it just seemed a bit, and I was spent ages trying to get him to say hello and put a more normalised. So I'm sorry, Mark. I don't mean to call you abnormal, but a more traditional British accent. And
I think if I just...
And it just wasn't working. And then I remembered that in Sex, Lies and Transformer tape, when Magnus left with the Doctor, I didn't exactly go for a full-on David Tennant. when I used the 10th Doctor in that, it was more, I'm Doctor Who, sounding more like Mrs. Doubtfire than he did the Doctor. So in the end we just thought, yep, we'll just run with his normal voice and his normal accent, and I think it works well. We've now got the 3 primes. One's from the future, one's the present day one, and the Night Watch prime has been plucked from Prime Target 2 just before his Night Watch mode deactivated, and obviously Clive. They still don't like Clive.
Meaning Night Watch Prime can't escape Night Watch mode because there's
this
already
episode,
a
I
Night Watch Prime present.
went to watch Dark
So
of the
Night
Moon with
Prime
my
took
friends
night
Carl
mode
and
until he
Stephen
returned to his
last
own
year,
time.
and
But my Night Watch mode expired. I didn't upgrade because
And-
Clive tried to rip me off.
yeah, I went to watch Dark of the Moon, and after the film we got talking, and Carl actually charged me with, he tasked me with writing a PG soap episode, and I spent a while thinking about it, and then these character building Doctor Who figures came out with all the play sets and stuff, and I thought, well, I've got a few of them, and thought, well, I can do something with that, make it more PG, because when I do the Doctor Who ones, it was never my intention to have the Doctor swearing and stuff, because of the nature of it, even though the Transformers swear, and that's a kid's show as well. First appearance of Power Master Optimus Prime.
You've got some nerve coming here. I suggest you leave.
And yeah, so eventually what came out of that was Doctor Who the Magnus years, and this was supposed to be a mini episode, a bit like the other Magnus years episodes I've got planned for later in the year, but it was
when I said it'll be easy to fix
it's
because it was just
nearly
a bunch
20
of
minutes long.
Optimuses from the
There's
same
just so
reality
much
and
in
no
there, and
alternate
I already had
Optimus
to
became trapped
cut
here.
out a whole chunk with the evil
Well,
Optimus
we now
Prime that I
have
had
to
planned on
contend
using.
with an
If you notice
alternate
that sonic
Optimus.
screwdriver, it's got 2 different tones, my sonic screwdriver has, so I try and rotate between the 2.
An alternate me?
It seems
And
so.
believe it or not, I
Power
did
Master
that 3
Optimus.
times. I
Can
didn't just
call you
cut,
Brickamus?
copy, paste that alternate
No.
me bit.
Thank you. Brickamus, can you tell us what happened?
He's
how
just
you
got
came
such
to
a
be
way of
this way?
delivering the lines.
I died. Rodimus took over. Against my wishes, I might add.
And this pretty much follows the whole Generation 1 continuity, just a bit more, mature. Even though there's no swearing in this.
And me. And me.
And that again, I
What
said,
happened next,
and me,
Brickamus?
3 times. I didn't
Eventually,
cut,
I was
copy,
brought
paste.
back as a Power Master, a binary bonded to my
So this is a Power Master Optimus Prime. What I'll be using when I do actually use him as Jinrai, he'll be the God Master, because I follow the Master
I
Force
see.
continuity because
And
I'm
what
more
happened
familiar
in
with
this
it.
reality?
Jinrai.
Yes, you keep saying Jinrai, with a high degree of disdain in your voice. I get that. But what did Jinrai do?
Optimus's revival.
That's where we go with, following the Master Force version. So
Hey. However, before he could be
my Magnus voice, it's okay, I guess, my Magnus voice, but I think I could have done I can't really do it any better. That's about as good as you're going to get from me with my Magnus voice, but, I shall persevere.
Ah, I get it now. In Brickamus's dimension, his resurrection went ahead as planned. But here,
Could have shot him
his
turning
resurrection
around
was
there
halted
to
by a Japanese truck driver.
Look at
Marvellous.
Brickamus. Oh, sorry, Optimus.
Marvelous? How's that marvelous? Yeah, I was dead for longer. What?
Orion
I
Pax.
died? Okay, now I feel old.
Which Optimus are you?
Optimus?
So basically, I didn't even begin to attempt to explain why Orion Pax is a lot smaller than the Optimus Prime he became.
He's Orion
I just left it out.
Primus Christ. When I
And
was
see,
Orion
Primus
Pax,
Christ,
I was
it is
wearing
a
ductwork.
multiversal form of dialect now. Every dimension uses it.
Dimensions have drawn short straws in certain instances here.
Well, I think we can safely ascertain that we have another past Optimus from the same dimension. Now, the problem is how to return all of
Now this
you
is a bit of
to
a
your
quirky
respective
bit that I
points in
went with.
time.
He
If it
just
was
appears in the
different
back
points
of
in this
Magnus's
dimension,
cab
I could
and
have used the TARDIS, but
jumps
with it
across.
being an
With the
alternate
figures, it's hard to
dimension,
film
my
them moving, the
task is a
smaller
lot
ones
harder.
particularly, so I had to
Well, think of
use
something.
still imaging, mostly
Can't be
because
multiple
the
means
picture
where
quality is
you're at.
better. And
Don't
I'm no good at
bark orders at me,
still motion,
Karen.
so you just
Remember
see him
whose
jump
reckless
from one
driving
place
got
to
us
the
into
other,
this
which,
mess.
it's doctory in a way because he's always running around and jumping, you just don't see the in-between bits.
Well, who's he gonna
There's my
blame?
door.
Himself?
Kind of went offset a bit there. Again, there's my carpet again.
Technically, you're all at fault because you're the same.
This bit coming up. The sound effect. Went for the whole everyone deploying their weapons at once. It's actually a Galvatron Dragon Power Beast Wars 2 sound effect. Sometimes you make do with what you got. From me to me to me.
I'd suggest fixing the TARDIS.
And here we go with the introduction of the final prime in a sec.
If we turn around,
And one of only 2 pieces of music within the episode.
Well, technically he is, but it might be a little funny.
I just like his delivery.
So would we figure out exactly what was damaged?
Having a good old chuckle about it. Still seeing the rest of my room behind there, but never mind.
Oh.
What? Oh.
And there's the Death of Optimus Prime music from the
guys?
1986 Transformers movie.
This isn't good.
I toyed with the idea of putting it in. I wasn't entirely sure. I was indecisive about whether to put
Optimus?
that music in with
What
it not
happened?
being strictly a Transformers episode.
So cute.
But I thought
Long enough.
it had to go in there
I've
because
been
it was just,
lying here
you know,
for ages.
fitting.
Yeah, sorry.
That's the
We
hunt
were
for the
kinda
Decepticons.
distracted.
Optimus Prime already has battle
on,
damaged. I
Optimus.
just pulled a
We'll call
couple
for
more
Ratchet.
bits out and stuff.
No, too late. I'm dying. Mind you, if you'd noticed me sooner.
Well, in our defense, you were awfully quiet. You could have groaned or something.
I assume you're a future me.
In our defence, you were awfully
You're a
quiet.
past me. Then who's he? A past him. You. Both of you. What happened?
Stay
to me?
quiet for this rather solemn moment.
I
Solemn moment is a funny bit coming up in a minute though.
Cybertron was dying. I was evacuated.
That meant to be Cybertron was dying. It makes it sound like he was dying on Cybertron, but hopefully you get the message.
Kinda sucks. Can't imagine anybody wants to be blown up. No, I mean, here I
This
am.
bit coming up, the me, myself and I bit, I was thinking me's, myself's and I's, but I thought that was a bit too much of a mouthful, especially if you're dying.
Die.
And us.
That bit there is just, and us.
For more
Perfectly chirpy and chipper in the most solemn of occasions. Someone's dying, it's just like, and us.
old friend. It is to you.
And if you remember Ultra Magnus, the episode from season 1, Magnus was bitter at
Yeah,
Rodimus
sure. I'll take
because Rodimus got the Matrix. Magnus is ready to
Fine.
accept, but
Optimus, I can't. I'm not worthy.
sarcastically, I'm not worthy.
Well, it beats giving it to Rodimus.
Yes,
My time
it does.
is over. Too long.
No one seems to like Rodimus really. He's like the Cheetor of G1, or Cheetor would be the GIMP effect there. I just had to outline around him and grayscale it. Add a bit of brightness. I think I've done okay with that. Even though sometimes it does look like it's been superimposed on top, even though it was in shot. And then the Doomsday music, I like this piece of music. Obviously, you'll see it's not actually supposed to be on there. Long moment. I wonder whether this is too long. I think it's fine. I don't care. I like the whole, you get a good lingering shot of every Prime looking over the dead body of the last of the Optimus Primes, and then
Not now, Soundwave. Sorry. Time and a place, Soundwave. Time and a place.
just thought that was a bit funny. It takes off from
Is
the
it just me, or
somber
could we
occasion.
have maybe saved him?
And
I mean,
I will just say now that
yeah.
Soundwave wasn't playing the Death of Optimus Prime music. And here we go with more Dragon Power. If you look in the back there, every shot of this I took live and had to go in and grayscale all the, even a little bit in the corner there. I had to grayscale every Optimus dead Optimus Prime shot. Even that hook there.
Now, I could try calibrating and
now there is one bit, there was one scene here that I had to switch the photos for because I forgot to colour the Optimus Prime and it would have took too long.
But that wouldn't work with biomechanical organisms.
And I think there's another one later.
I could just get the exact location and time of arrival off each of you and transport you
This was actually me thinking when I wrote it that was a simplified version. It wasn't intended to be a simplified version, but it turns out it was.
I don't know what to do. I'm honestly and legitimately stuck.
Well, can't you just, you know, travel back in time and tell your past self to park across them?
Stephen Moffat writes some good episodes, but he writes some awfully complicated episodes. And I just thought, well, if I just do a simple, ridiculously easy ending where he goes back in time and tells his past self to shift.
Now, Magnus, you'll have to stay here with the other Optimus. If this works,
Sonic Screwdriver is fixing up the TARDIS, he's just trying to get it to work for that last final journey there. That's the point I'm going for. And then there's the 11th Doctor theme in the background, the second piece of music.
Carry on as normal. Does everyone understand?
Yeah, I understand. Me too. And I have to say, it's been a pleasure meeting other like-minded people.
Brickamus in the background there.
I actually didn't mean.
And the Doctor, assuming everyone loves him. TARDIS shot again, simply fade and wash, rinse, repeat. About 6 shots of the TARDIS, 6 shots without, speed up double, and then put the fade transition in between. And this is a repeat shot. With this, because there's 2 TARDISes, I've actually got 2 TARDISes because I've got the external one, the box. But with the internal one, a small you got another box TARDIS to stick on the outside. And I was going to actually have 2 Doctors and 2 Magnuses, but then I thought the problem is with the tinfoil flooring, it's a reflective surface. If I photoshopped or gimped another Magnus and Doctor and TARDIS onto there, it would have looked a bit. The reflection wouldn't have been there. Like, as you can see, there's a reflection on the floor. If I'd have photoshopped that, there wouldn't have been a reflection. So I had to, you know, make the decision not to take Magnus along, but just use a second TARDIS and 2 Doctors. As you can see, there's reflections on each of them.
The TARDIS over a little. Another me? Are you a flesh me? No, nor am I a Sontaran.
Bit of a strange thing there of the flesh, you know.
Well, there go my other options.
With this, the Doctor hasn't actually met Amy or Rory yet, so why does he know about the flesh? It's just one of those things that, you know, I'll deal with when I get to it. That, I couldn't, second live action shot, when Magnus lifted the TARDIS that time, because he had to pick it up physically, I couldn't actually get him to hold it. The figure wouldn't hold the TARDIS, so I just stuck 2 cigarette packets underneath and just made sure I didn't shoot the floor. And it was a simple shot, really. It's like when in the Predator films, when they have someone stood in an orange crate to make them look taller. It was just a little effect like that. This song, Another Me, it's by Jeff Hardy's band. It was his theme in TNA when he was a member of Immortal. I just thought it was a fitting song. Another me is what there will never be. And I've always wanted to do this, just for instead of, usually on my episodes I put all other characters or all characters voiced by me, but I just wanted to do like proper long credits. Optimus Prime, Optimus Prime, Optimus Prime, Optimus Prime. I just wanted to do that because I thought it'd be funny. It might not be, but it is. tfcog.net, got the sound effects from them, thank you once again. And then it's like more, usually I write written, produced, edited and directed, but I just went it separate this time. Just so I can listen to it. I like the song, just want to listen to it. All that remains is to just thank you for listening to this commentary if you had. If you have, if you haven't, then, you know, it doesn't matter. It's just a bit of fun for me. Yes, it will still happen. Ciao!